Okay, I'm gonna attempt this again. I'm trying to perfect it. You could see this one, it's not bad, but this last one I did, I thought I'd start and stop in the center and make like a star. Focus. And I made a mistake at one point, so I didn't have a star leg coming off here. But even though I don't think it looks good. So I'm going to make my first circle with it starting on the right side. And I'm going to make the rest of them, this doesn't want to focus, the rest of them kind of at strategic areas like on the sides or something. Maybe where there's going to be an intersection, I'm not sure, but not in the center. So I made a dot here for the center of my first circle. So my first circle center would be here. So here's the first circle. I know this is just not focusing. Okay. So, and I measured it so that it was the same distance from this center, like if this were a table runner and this is my center piece, my center unit or whatever, design. From this center to the center on the left is 12.5 inches. And from this center to the center on the right is 12.5 inches. And it was 6 inches from the top. So I used 2 rulers. I just kind of used 1 and 2. I could have used a big square one, but I just did it that way. And then I marked the center. So then after that, since I have channel locks, I'm going to take my needle and put it right there in the center and click my vertical channel lock. Bring this up, bring the needle back up, and then slide it up. But I'm going to put the center of this ruler on this center dot, and the right side will be over here where I'll start right here. So I know you probably can't see it, but the center of my ruler is on that center dot, and then this vertical line I want to rotate, rotate the ruler so that it's matching this needle, because I have my vertical channel lock on from when I had the needle on that center. So I'm going to pivot this. Okay, so it's perfectly on. And now I'm going to take my stone and put it on the ruler. And I'll take my channel lock off and I'll come around to where I'm going to start here, and I'll put my channel lock back on, keep my stone on, and I'll pull up my bobbin thread. So I'll do needle down, needle up, and I'll just grab it like that. And since I'm going that way, I'll kind of take the thread here. I'm going to press on the left side of the ruler and slide that under. Okay, needle down, channel locks off, stone off. And I'm going to hit my tie button. I've got 20 stitches per inch and 5 stitches. So I'm just going to go forward and do my tie off that way. Okay, now I'm on coast regulate, 12 stitches per inch, speed 11. So I'll continue around. And I'm using really cheap fabric that was digitally printed. And I'm supposed to be using I grab my thread and I'll pull it around, push down slightly there and get my thread down the back. I'm supposed to be using a ballpoint needle on this cheap fabric. And a 16 ballpoint, but I'm using an 18 sharp, so it's totally making runs in this fabric, and I don't even care because I'll never buy this again. Anyway, so I'll keep going. Oh, I forgot, with this new ruler feet set that I got, the back of it, you can't hold your hand as close when you have the ruler in the back, so you have to go slightly farther away. I mean, it's not bad. You just have to get used to it. See how the fabric's shredding? So I'm going to come up here, just adjusting. Okay, so I'll stop there. Because I have this dumb ruler with the notch, I have to spin it, and I always mess this up. So I'm going to keep the dot on, and I'm going to kind of see, before I go, I could use my ruler to measure. Yeah, I don't know why I was using all those other tools. So I'm exactly a 1/4 inch away. So when I spin it, I want to be exactly a 1/4 inch away. So I'm going to spin it. And I'm just going to go past, pull this down. I'm going to go past where I started. That's kind of how I'm going to do it, I think. Okay, so that means I got to spin it a little bit more. And I'm pushing up against the needle, or the presser foot, as I spin it. So I'm far enough away. Am I still at a 1/4? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to go past where I started, and then I'll hit my tie. I'll stop it and hit my tie. Hopefully I'm lined up. I am. I made it. I finally did it right. My 3rd one. Okay, so I'll hit my tie. And I'm just going to go forward again. And that's it. 5 little stitches, 20 stitches per inch. So put my channel locks on. I don't need my ruler. And I'll pull out some thread, needle up. I have my thread ripper because it's nice and flat and thin. And then needle down, needle up, channel locks off, pull away, pull up. And that's the first one that I did perfectly with that stupid little notch in my ruler. Not bad. That is not bad. Focus. Not bad. But here's one thing I forgot. I forgot to mark a dot up at the top. So I'm going to put my needle in the center. Because for my next circle, I need a dot at the vertical center at the bottom for one circle and a dot at the vertical center at the top, and I forgot to do that. So with my needle in the center, I'm going to hit my vertical channel lock, bring my needle up, and then go up here, and I could do a needle up, needle down, just so that I could see where to mark it, and maybe I could see a hole. Needle up, needle down, you know, so now I can mark that. Especially with this cheap fabric, you could see everything you do. Okay, and then I'll come down here. And I've tried not to go on the thread. Needle up, needle down. Oh, with the thread in there, I can mark it. That's good. So leave the thread in, and then I can mark it. Perfect. Okay. So those are my 2 marks. And I'll just do the top one first. So now I have to decide where I'm going to start. So this circle, I have to think about it. Let me take my channel locks off. So this circle is going to intersect, the center of the ruler is at that vertical center. And then the other center of the ruler down here, the other vertical center, is going to match up with this dot, but it's going to be a 1/4 inch away from it. So you want to pivot or rotate it so that it's perfectly on both of them, I think. I always get confused if this one has to be on or a 1/4 inch away, but I think it has to be on. To make sure that I'm in the center, because we want to make sure we're meeting the center every time. I'm going to put my needle in there and line up the ruler to this. And you know, when these dots, they bleed, so, okay. So I'm going to put my vertical channel locks on. Okay, so I have that lined up there, and then up here I have the vertical line lined up with the little mark I made. Okay, so that should be it. So now I'm just going to put my stone on, pull my needle up, and so if I start here and come around this way so that my knot is kind of like at this intersection, I guess that was my plan. So I'm going to do that. So with the channel locks undo them, I'm going to come over here. I'll start right on the thread. So I have it pushed up against the ruler. I'm going to take my hand, my thumb, and kind of dial down. Okay. And I'm going to put my channel locks on. And I'm going to do a needle down, needle up. Keep the stone on. And I'll pull up my bobbin thread. Okay, I'm going to be coming this way. So I'll put my thread over here. I'll push my palm down on the ruler to get the thread under the ruler. Okay. Pressing down, so I'll do a needle down, take off my channel locks, hit my tie, and I'm just going to come this way, this way. I'm going to start like this though, and just go a little bit with the tie. So my channel locks are off, and I'll go forward. Okay, now it's on coast regulate. I'm just going to go a little bit more. Okay. Hopefully I'm going to hit that dot, but I don't know. I can't tell. I'm a little below it, but I guess that'll be my center. Okay, so I'm going to take my thread. Oh, it's caught on my sandpaper. Okay, there we go. I'll put it underneath. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of see what this measurement is, because I have to spin this because I haven't bought a regular ruler. Okay, so you can kind of see that this measurement is just a hair short of a quarter. This one is right on at a quarter. So if this one is a little short, well, I don't know because my ruler's spun a little. It's a hair short. I mean, this could be pivoted just a hair off. So I just want to make sure when I spin it that I'm a hair short of a quarter. So I'm going to watch this, make sure it's still on this little line here, and then I'll measure this after I spin it. So I'm going to spin it. I could spin it that way, which means I have to go past this with this hole. If I spun it this way, I'd have a lot farther to go. I don't know which is the worst of two evils. So I'll just try it going that way. So I'm watching my pivot. See, so I'm past it already. So let's measure this. So I'm still a hair short, so we're going to go for it. Okay. Okay, and I'm right on. I'm going to hit the tie and just keep going forward. Okay, channel lock. I don't need this anymore. Pull some thread out. Needle up. Needle down, needle up, channels off, pull away, forward, pull. I'm finally getting it right for once. Okay, that is not bad. Now, I have a tie there. Whoops. So this is the one I just did. I have a tie here and a tie here. So I don't want to do much more over here because you could see how the fabric is running. It's such crap fabric. For the bottom one though, if I do this bottom one, if I still line up the notch on the right, this center goes on the vertical center here of this original circle, because this is the center of the original circle and this is the other vertical center. So the center of the ruler goes to this, which means I can barely see it. Let me mark it again. Okay. Which means, Okay, that's good, because now I was worried about my ties being too close. Here was my original focus. My original 2 ties were there and there. So now this tie will be down here on this side. So I'll put the needle like right there on that line. But I was, to get everything lined up, I was going to come and put my needle down in the center, not all the way in, just kind of close to being in, because God, if you even puncture this fabric. So I'll go right on the thread, because I don't want to follow the dot anymore. I'm following the thread. Okay, channel locks are on. I'm going to just bring my needle up. This vertical line goes on there, and then the other center of this ruler, you can't see it, is on that mark down at the bottom here. It's pretty square on. It's slightly, the ruler mark is slightly like a sliver, like a 1/16 of an inch below where the thread is of the circle, but it's okay. And so now that I know that, I'm going to put my stone on, and I'm going to undo my channel locks. Okay, let me dial my needle down. Okay, channel locks on, and needle down, needle up. Okay, and I'm going that way, so I'm going to take this and kind of press my palm so that the ruler lifts a hair. So I'll do needle down, take this off. I'll hit my tie, but I have to take my channel locks off. Okay, now I'm on coast regulate automatically. And it should hit this line exactly if I did it right. I can't believe I did that right. Okay, I'm going to take my thread now, and I'm going to push down, pressure at the bottom of the ruler, get the thread underneath the ruler. Boy, if I didn't have to spin this, I would really be doing good. Okay, so now I'm going to measure. Okay, this is right on at 1/4. It's exactly 1/4. So when I spin it, and again, I'm going to spin it towards me so I have less stress. I'm going to watch the dot here in the center of the ruler, and then I'll measure this after I spin it towards me. Okay, so that's all I had to spin it. Let's see how my gap is. It looks like it's right on. So here we go. And I'm going to go past it, just a couple stitches, hit my tie, and I'm going to keep going. Okay, Right on. Okay, channel lock. Don't need the ruler. I can't believe I did that. Even with spinning, and I matched perfectly. Okay, don't get too confident. Pull out some thread, lift. Okay. Channels off. Pull. Oh my gosh, this one's gonna be good for once. Well, don't count your chickens yet. Okay. So I have my 3, and so the centers for the other 4 circles, I have 1 here. This is the center. 1 here. This is the center. 1 here. This is the center, and 1 there. That's the center. So I guess we'll do this one first. So again, you know, this has to line up with that center, but I want to put my needle almost in the fabric at this center spot. On that dot, kind of, but exactly where the threads meet is more important. Then put my channel locks on, lift my needle a hair. The center here goes here. Okay. Okay, it almost matches perfectly. Wow. Okay. So, but here's the thing. The most important thing is to make sure that you want to look for the intersection, because when you start on these 4 on the outside, you're going to have an intersection. And when you do one of the 4, like there's a set or whatever, the first of those 4 that I do, I'm only going to look for one intersection. That intersection here, right here, has to be a 1/4 inch from the ruler in order for the needle to pass in correctly. I want this to stay in the center. I mean, it's right on at a 1/4 inch. So, but I'm going to start over where the notch is over here. So my channel locks are on because I was in the center. I'll take them off. And I'll come around here. Well, I don't want to start there. I want to start down at the bottom here. That means that this notch should be down there. So let's redo this. Let's do this again because I'm going to spin it. So I made a mistake. Channel lock. Okay, I'm matching up this center and this, but I'm starting down at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to spin it so that I know you can't see my notch, but I want my notch to be on the right. Okay, so I'm matching up here and this, and making sure this is a 1/4 inch. This is so confusing. I need to bring it up a hair or else pivot it. Okay, I'm right on. I'm kind of on there. Okay. So I'm going to put my stone on and I'm going to come around to the bottom. So take off my channel locks and I'm going to come around to the bottom because I'm going to start on this line. I can't see through the camera and everything's in my way. I'm going to dial the needle down so it's right on the thread or somewhat on it. Okay. So I'm going to put my channel locks on and I'll do needle down, needle up. And my channel locks are on, my stone is on. Okay. What's this thread? So I'm going to take this and pull my thread out. You know, I'm almost out of bobbin thread, I think. I have to check it. So let's see. I'm going this way, so I'm going to press my palm on the ruler, get my thread under there. I can't get it under there. Okay. And I'll do a needle down, take the stone off, take my channel locks off, hit my tie, and go. Okay, and my coast regulate is on automatically. Okay, the center looks good. Let's move my thread back under the ruler there. Hopefully I'll make it perfectly there. Not bad. I could have done a little bit better. Okay, I just have a little ways to go. Okay, now before I spin it, I'm going to measure. Okay, I'm exactly a quarter. So again, I'm going to spin it the easy way, so I'm going to spin it that way, even though I have to go over that bump. And I'm going to watch my center here. So I'm exactly on the center there. So okay, I made it past. Am I still a quarter inch away? Let me see. It looks like I am. So let's go for it. Okay, perfect. I went past it, hit my tie, and keep going. Okay, channel locks, no ruler. I'll pull some thread, needle up. needle down, needle up, channel off, back, forward pull. I don't know where my scissors went to. I need better scissors. Okay, that looks great. You know, except for the fabric running, but that's absolutely perfect. And let's see how I did. Okay, the center is good. How did I do up here? Not bad. I'm down a little low, but it's really not bad. I'm not off by too much. I'm doing better. I should be. This is my third one. Okay, so then for this one, now this is my center. I'm going to be starting, you know, down here. So I want my notch to be down there. So remember, my lines aren't going to be vertical or horizontal anymore, but that's not important. What's important is that I line up the needle. Now I can see a perfect intersection there. So I'm dialing it down, not all the way in, channel lock, dial it back up, press this up against there, but the center of this, I have to pivot it. This is my rotational axis, you know, I'm pressing up against this. And then this should be right on that intersection there, the center of the ruler. But my notch, I want to get my notch, I'm going to spin it. And I actually want my notch to be to the right of, you can't see it, but down here I want my notch on my ruler to be to the right, because I'm going to start stitching left and clockwise. You'll see in a minute. So this is lined up with the intersections, the center of the ruler, with all of the thread intersections. And so now I'm good. I'll put my stone on, dial my needle up, take off my channel locks, come around to my start point. So I'm there right on the thread. I'll channel lock it, and I'll do again a needle down, needle up, I'll go from the front. There we go. Boy, this is like, you have to be a surgeon. Oh, and I keep forgetting to check my bobbin thread. Look, I'm wasting it all. Okay, so since I'm going that way, watch, I'll run out of thread. Press my palm on the back. I'll take this off now, and I'll do a needle down, channel off, tie, and I'll go forward. Okay, I'm ready to go. Coast regulate. Take my thread, I'll bring it, press a little, bring it there, we'll check this intersection and that intersection and this intersection. I got 3 intersections. Center and then the 2 sides. I think it's good. Okay, let's see how these are. Oh, I can't do that. I have to just do this. It looks really good. Okay, let's check our measurement. Okay, so right here, we're exactly 1/4. It's so nice to have an accurate foot. Okay, so I'm going to pivot it the other way. I'm going to check the center. It's right on the center. So I'm going to keep my eye on that as I pivot. I made it around. Check that. It's pretty good. I mean, I think I'm good. I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm right on. Hit the tie and keep going forward. All right, channel lock, ruler off. Pull the thread, needle up. Needle down, up, channel off, away, pull, and cut. Perfect. Down here. You know, well, I don't know. I thought maybe I was off a hair. No, I think I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Now I got 2 more circles. Okay. So let's see how I did. All right, on this one here, okay, this is the circle I just did. I was off to the right a hair. You can kind of see this is the one I just did, and it's kind of to the right of these 2, this point here, but it's not bad. And then the center is pretty good. It's, yeah, the center, I'm getting confused. I can't see. It looks okay, I think. This one is right on. Exactly. All of these. Is it? Yeah. It is. It's good that the fabric is marbled. Because then your eye doesn't see everything. Okay, so again, so I'm liking my system, so I'll save this video for instructions. So my needle is almost down in the center. Channel lock, needle up. Now this center of the ruler has to go on this intersection. And I'm going to start, so my notch, let's see. I want it to be like on the outer lines, not the inner circle. Nothing is on the center circle, it seems. Well, I started these 2 on the center over here. And then this was on the center. Oh, okay. So they were on the centers. I started on the center circle. But on this one that I just did, I started, this last one I did, I started at the bottom, like on an outer, one of the outer circles. So, you know, if you started on an inner circle, so if I have it up here, and I started on an inner circle, this inner circle is where these little petals are going to. So it kind of makes them not look as good, especially with this fabric. So I'll start on the outer circle, I guess. So which outer circle? I can start on this one. So if this is my center, I could pivot it like so. I could start there. Yeah, I keep changing up everything. I guess I'll do that. Okay, so I kind of wish I had a heavier stone. Darn it. I don't have a heavy paperweight. I have a rock outside. Oh well, I guess we'll use you. You're so pretty anyways. So, unlock it. Bring it around. And I'll put it on the line. Needle down, channel up, needle up, and again I didn't look at my thread. I better look at my bobbin thread. Okay, my thread is under, needle down, channel off, tie, stone off, and here we go. Okay, coast regulate. Move my thread. Well, just wait. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I can't really get it under there. Oh well. Let's see. Yeah, I think because I am like a 1/4 inch there, but I'm gonna kind of pivot it. I'm pivoting it like just a smidget. I'm gonna press here so I can get this under. And okay. So I'm still in the center kind of. So I'm gonna pivot this around. measure this. Yeah, see, I feel like I moved it because I'm going to pivot it to the right while I'm pressing. Okay, go for it. That was the right move. Okay, hit my tie, keep going, and we're done. Channel lock, ruler off, lift my, or pull my thread, lift, down, up, channel off, back, pull, right on. Oh my God, it's perfect. Okay, I got one more. This is so much better without all the knots here. These I made too many knots, two in the same spot, so that was a mistake here. These two. So then on this one, I will make it on the outside somewhere. So let's just see. So I'll go ahead and put this in the center again, but not all the way in. Kind of where everything is intersecting. Channel lock, lift needle. If I press this up against here and put my center on that intersection, where do I want to start? I don't want to start in here. I want to start either here or here. These two outers. So it's kind of hard to see up there. I mean, I'm just as far away from this as if I were to start here. I mean, I'm starting on the outers. So I'm going to start down here just because I can see better on the side than up there. So I'm going to match up my center here with these intersections that are kind of messed up. These intersections are kind of messed up, so I'm going to kind of split the difference. But I do want to be a 1/4 inch away from this intersection and a 1/4 inch away from this intersection. So let me measure. So I need to pivot this one a hair. So I'm going to push up against this and pivot up just a hair. Okay, I'm right on. And then this one, I'm right on. Okay, so stone goes on, channel locks off, and oh, I'm starting over here. I should have put my notch closer, but it's fine. I'm not changing it. So I'm going to hold this and I'm going to come around. I better get my thread out of there. And I'm going to start here. Let me dial this down here because I want to start right on the thread. Okay, so I'll just do a channel lock, needle down, needle up. And again, I didn't look at my bobbin. Okay, so I'm going to pull this thread up somehow. And I'm going forward, so I'm gonna press down and get that back there. Needle down, take the stone away, and channel off, tie. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Those were perfect. Okay, let's measure. Okay, so this here is a little bit, a hair less than a quarter. It's like a hair, like the width of like this ink on the ruler, you know, this mark. It's a hair less than a quarter. So, but it doesn't look it. It looks like it's a quarter, which is so weird. Let me measure it again. It is a hair. It's a hair shorter. So let me pivot it. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm right on. I think I'm right on. Let's see. Yep, I'm right on, I think. Let me hit the tie. Okay. Channel lock. Don't need the ruler. Needle up. I'm using the wrong thing. Okay, needle down, channel off, up, away, pull, and cut. Okay, that was pretty perfect. I mean, that looks a little weird. Okay, that's better. Alrighty. So I did it, and I did a better job this time. So my takeaway on this is to make my knots, my ties on an outer circle so that I don't have to have two things going on so close to each other, and by my petals, you know. So that looks good. That looks good. See if I could steady this. So now let's see if I could freehand my design. I really messed this one up. Like, it's so hard to do it when this is the third one that I really messed up, because I did my ties in the center. It's still wet. But like when you do these like on the side, you don't even know what you're doing. Like this isn't even an S anymore. It's just a C shape. So I really messed that up. But I drew them all with the marker, the purple marker, but since it's so humid, it went away. I have to get some more blue markers. You know. In my very first one, I really messed it up, but it is kind of cute. It is kind of cute. So live and learn on that center. You can't put a button there or anything because if it's going to be a table runner, can't have things flapping over. So I don't know. Maybe an applique or just the heck with it. But this one, my very first one, wasn't bad actually. I was off in a lot of places, but I seem to be a little bit more in a groove. I seem to be, my design was, I must have been in a better, like, drawing mood or something, because it just seemed better. And so I'll just have to finish this one now. And then I don't know what I'll do around it. All right, till next time. Bye-bye.